the German music publishing firm Peters are kind to amateur players and singers because they publish a whole range of books and accompanying CDs which provide you with the opportunity of playing things that you might like playing or singing, and they provide on the CDs very good, very professionally done accompaniments. Here's a book called Spielbuch, published by Peters, and it's a collection of quite a few short pieces for violin and piano, and I have the CD that goes with it. It's just down there in the CD player, which you can't see, but believe me, it's there. So what I thought I would do was I would play some of these pieces. Mostly they're short and quite fairly simple, but they're all by proper composers. I'll play some of these pieces on different fiddles, just to give you the different sounds, the different voices that these violins have. So we're going to start with a piece by Jean-Baptiste Lully, the French composer who died in 1687 from a very unfortunate cause. He was a court composer, he was conducting at court, and he hit himself with his staff, which they used to hit against the floor to give the tempo. He hit himself on the foot, must have been, I think, very painful. But he shrugged it off and continued with life for a little while. But it became gangrenous, and eventually he died. A terrible story. This minuet is very attractive, a little simple piece. I'm going to play it on this violin, which is labelled JTL Louis Fricot, Paris, and an illegible date. Right. If the label's genuine, it was made by the huge firm Jérôme Thibodeau-Lémy, but I'm not sure that it is genuine, and it may not be in fact by them. 100 years old maybe, something like that, and quite a nice violin. So we're going to hear Lully's attractive minuet on this violin. My second Spielbuch tune is by Arcangelo Corelli, 1653 to 1713, and it's quite a slow largo. Corelli was himself a very fine violinist, and in this piece it seemed to have amused him to get the player to play up and down all over the instrument. It jumps about from string to string, as you will hear. Now, as for the violin, this is an odd one. As you can see, it's got flowers on it. Strange. Nothing very remarkable about it otherwise, I think, except that it really plays rather well. I think it's French again. I think it might come from the beginning or early part of the 20th century, but I really have no idea. It's unsigned and undated. Anyway, here's Corelli's Son of Ond with this violin. Next we have a rather remarkable violin, I think, and one I'm quite fond of. This is a Scottish violin made by an amateur maker in 1854 in Kelso. His name was J. Keith. His name is handwritten inside the instrument. It looks very amateur made, but it plays nicely. And this one's going to play another piece by Arcangelo, Corelli, and this is a Gavott. It's very short, it's quite a well-known little tune, so this poor violin isn't going to get much of a show, but for what it's worth, here it is. I should have mentioned too that the pianist greatly adds interest to this by varying and perhaps even improvising when he plays the repeats. You'll hear that, and it's a very good feature of this accompaniment. Still, on to the next one. This next piece is by the very prolific German composer Georg Philipp Telemann, 1681 to 1767, and it's a march. An attractive march. So here it is. Of course the violin. Here again is a rather odd one. This is an amateur made violin, Scottish again, but it was made fairly recently, but it's not dated. So within the last 20 years, I would guess, by a man called Sandy Robertson, who lived in Garmouth in Moray in the northern part of Scotland. Again, it doesn't look terrific, but it plays fine. So it does, as you can hear. Here we go.